So best friends got each other's back. We used to cruise around with a bass to the max. Everyone in school while I was in the lab, cooking up some beats that would turn into tracks. High school chillin', I was on a mission. I had bigger dreams of being a musician. Teachers always talked but I couldn't seem to listen. I lived in a fantasy land, they called it fiction. But I was gonna be big one day, playing shows on the road to a sold out stage. Nobody really cared or believed I would make it anywhere close, I would fail and fade. But that's cool, I love that, cause any little doubt gives me energy back. And now, I'm in a place where I'm glad I never gave up on the dreams I had. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. Yeah, let's go. So if you want something big, you gotta swing fast, swing hard and commit. You might miss 10 times, but when you hit, just make sure that you get all of it, okay? People at the top took risks. Investing and testing is all that they did. It's not complicated, it just takes grit. So never give up, take a swing at it. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing. And big dreams lead to big things, and big swings lead to big rings. Championships or the big screen, anyone who did anything took a big swing.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Pick Your Roll podcast. I'm here with my guys Coach Ed and Blaze Radio. How's everyone doing? And Blaze, I know what you're going to start out with to say it.
Hello?
Whose birthday is it today?
My friend Mark Caliber.
Kyle. It's Kyle Lowry.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say that. I thought he'd be like, happy birthday to Mr.
That's
Kyle.
your boy. You were worried about him, apparently, not me. So.
Okay. I already saw the message in the group chat. I already saw it. But what is up, Coach?
Nothing much, man. Just taking it day by day. What's up with you guys?
Nothing much, man. I got the Sixers tonight. Paul George is back. Embiid might play. And Quentin Grimes is available to play tonight against the Bolts. So, yay. What about you, Blaze?
Yeah.
Yeah?
March Madness. I'm still in the middle of that, too.
Go for it.
Having all these major teams, no real, like, McNeese State or Penn or, any of these little schools not in it this year. I've been thinking about it. First, I was like, because I'm one of the guys who would make a board, fill it out every year for 30-some years and stuff. So I'm really into the madness. And I remember I can see all the old brackets and stuff. I'm like, man, I was looking at I was like, man, when's the last time they were all big name teams? Like, I know St. John's did an upset and stuff like that. We had upsets, but it's like all major teams. Like, I was joking with you, Mitch. I was like, Iowa, Nebraska, Alabama, Michigan. What is this, football?
Yeah.
Like, those are big football schools, but I know they're big basketball too. But the more I think about it, to me, that means really good competition because these are the best teams of the biggest conferences. So I like having that little Cinderella team too. And who knows if St. John's goes to the Final Four or the finals, they could be considered one, even though they're really, but because they're the only one to beat a number one so far and stuff like that.
I hate that St. John's is not a Cinderella.
From who's left, they have to be compared to who's left.
Mm-hmm. No.
Other than ones or twos, there's only a couple other numbers left, man. I know what you're saying. They're better. They're a great team. Sure they are, but they're what
They're
5.
a fifth seed. Well, because I boycotted the NCAAs this year, and I'm not following it because of what they did to St. John's. St. John's #1. They beat UConn to win the Big East. They're the regular season tournament champion. They beat UConn, but you put them as a #5 in the same region, make UConn a #2.
Yeah, there's
And the
arguments
only
they should have got a
difference-
higher. They should have got a higher seed. There's argument for that.
and not even put oops, sorry, I forgot.
You're
to put
good.
this on silent.
You're good.
I mean, if you want to get technical, Texas is the Cinderella because they won the play-in.
But the
They're
other
11.
issue is, how are you going to put the 2 top teams from the Big East that were in the tournament and you put them in the same bracket? That makes no sense. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm done with the Big East.
St. John's got screwed pretty much.
That's me.
They did.
If they can beat Duke and Michigan
Are
State,
you
then
muted me?
we have the matchups that I would want out of that bracket. That's the ones I wanted. I mean, Kansas too, of course, because you have one of the best players in the league there too with Peterson. But Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn, those are 2 great games.
Yep.
I mean, Iowa, I guess, beat Florida too, so they beat a #1. So that's kind of a Cinderella as well.
Yeah. I was hoping for Wisconsin, honestly. Wisconsin would have been fun with that school.
I still like Arkansas. I think Acuff is a lot better than people are giving him credit for. I think he's going to be a star in the NBA. I really like his game. It translates over for me. And we talk about true point guards and how there's not a lot out there. He could really be one if he wants to be coming up. I'm excited about it. And like I said before the tournament started, you always see these new stars coming up too. Like you're seeing these dudes, some of these highlights of just college kids dunking out of the building and doing crazy stuff. And they want to make a name for themselves. They know that spotlight's on them right now. And that's why you see all the heartbreak when these teams lose. Like, it's kind of sad because, the camera always focuses on the team that just lost by a buzzer beater. And they're like, ready to rip their eyeballs out. But that's the passion, the good, the bad that comes with March Madness. And you saw, this past week, the Saturday, Sunday were just amazing games. The second round was incredible.
Yeah. I
now
can't
they
wait
gotta live
for
up to it.
2016 and Elite 8.
Yep. And it's up in the
man.
air. There's really no definite. I mean, Duke, Arizona, and Michigan are still #1s, but there's a team in each of those brackets that could take them out. So it's going to be.
I have Houston making it. I know
Houston
they're not.
has to make it now. There's a 3-4 and Illinois is a good game, but 8 and a 4 on the other side. They should make it.
Yeah. Hey, my Final Four is still intact. It's still intact.
I mean, I said it before. I was rooting for one of them Danny Manning. That's what always reminds me of someone who takes over for their team and scores 30 through the whole tournament. So for Kansas, he did that before, and I was hoping DeBonsa or one of these guys from one of these teams could do that, but we'll see. We'll see. A lot of people are saying AJ is probably the #1 over. It kind of depends on who gets that #1 pick, because I know we don't know that based on the record. We got to wait for the balls to drop. Pause.
There you go. I didn't even need to say it. You need to say it. But let's.
I mean, it's exciting to see the possible new stars that we'll see in the NBA someday.
Yeah, I love how Acuff is playing. Like, dang.
There's a lot of uproar from mostly coaches. I think it was Pitino that was on McAfee and a couple other guys the last few days where they're really frustrated with how college basketball is run anymore with the NIL and with this stuff. And like what coach it was that got interviewed, and he's like, well, 5 million more, we might have made it to the next round. It's like, it's all about money now, where I've always been an advocate the players get paid, but right now that system is so broken. And to hear all these coaches bash the system now, being like something needs to be done. Like, I truly think it's tough. We talked about it before, because how do you lump in all the other sports from each college, like volleyball or steeplechase or, all this other stuff? How do you lump that in? But I always thought, and football and basketball college more specifically, because I'd put those two at the top, that need a commissioner. There's too much money going around and stuff. I doubt it will ever happen because there's so much red tape and all that. But if they had like a commissioning body or a commissioner, like we talked about this before, this is nothing new, but I just want some changes to happen because it's going down the wrong way right now. And,
it is.
And the coaches are frustrated because you hear them talk. My Kentucky team is completely different than it used to be 10 years ago, because after every year, it's a new 8 players. You know what I mean? Like out of the 12 or 14, it used to be 3 or 4. You get new players every year, and players would stay till they were juniors. Now it's like, unless you're hurt or whatever. And then I think it was Pitino going, these guys they can transfer 5 times. in
Yeah.
their college career. Like he's like, regulations have to be done. He's like, there needs to be something, like reel it in a little bit somehow. And I don't have the answers. I'm glad I'm not the one trying to make the answers, but we see it. I don't want people to be upset. I see how people are upset with NBA because of the money, because of the referees, because of the tanking, because of the flopping, because of, the complaining to the refs and all. We can talk about the traveling and all that stuff all day long.
Yep.
It hurts me to have my favorite sport, even like football. We talk about it soft anymore. No one can do this. It's the same thing. It's different levels, but basketball and football, it's like, I hate to see these sports bashed like they are. Like so many people that I know don't watch anymore because of how it's gone. Like one of the other, like coach even said, I've written off college basketball. I don't watch it as much. I don't either, but it's more, I wait till February and March to watch it, like now, which is fantastic. But to hear these coaches, like I can tell the angst in their voice. They're like, they're tired of dealing with it. And you're going to see a lot of these older college basketball coaches just say, fuck it, I'm retiring. I don't want to be a part of this. Or try to get a dream job. If NBA jobs, look, every year there's 10 to 15 NBA and NFL jobs that open up, which I still think is ludicrous.
Yeah.
A handful of coaches deserve to lose their jobs, but I would rather see teams try to, reinvent with that coach or try to change first before firing.
Well,
some of them are lost causes, but to see 12 to 15 coaches gone every year, it's insane to me.
Yeah, well,
you banked on that coach. That means you're a failure as an organization if you're firing your coach after 1 or 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hired the wrong coach.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, well, speaking of coaches, did you hear about the North Carolina coach getting fired? And then apparently Billy Donovan may take that spot.
Well, that's Hubie, right? Hubert Davis was their coach, right? And
Hubert Davis was the head coach of Carolina, one of their alums. I mean, I heard a lot of crazy things that he wasn't hiring coaches whose wives, they all basically had to be North Carolina alums in the
connections.
Yeah, you had to be a North Carolina alum somehow, and your wife has to.
So, back to this again, right? How much are you giving us?
He said that the theory is that they know what it's about to be part of North Carolina, but you didn't last long and you got fired. So what does that say about you?
Yeah. I mean, the onus to blame is on both when the situation goes that bad. Obviously, you can't, you talk to 20 people, they're going to put the onus on one a little more than the other, but the blame's on both. I just hate to see coaches treated this way, like dumped after a year or two by an organization because they need a scapegoat, or something like that, or they were one game out from making the playoffs or something, or whatever, or they didn't lose on purpose to get a better draft pick, stupid shit like that. Like, I'll go back to the Giants and I'll still call them the Redskins. Giants and Washington, end of the year. There were fans of those two teams doing podcasts talking about, we shouldn't have won. We should have lost.
And I always, when I hear that, I'm always like, well, first of all, the players and the coaches are not going to tank just so you can get a higher draft pick. So they want to save their jobs. And it's
I understand the men. I know why they're upset, but don't let those words come out of your mouth. You sound stupid. It doesn't make sense that you want to lose in hopes that you're going to get this savior next year, so you don't lose anymore.
A rookie.
Yeah. You're banking on a rookie, and you're a veteran. What do you think the veterans in the locker room feel about that? You know what I mean? They don't want to lose their spot to some rookie coming in trying to change the whole organization.
Yep.
It is. It's
a tank.
And I mean, I think coach, and I've only done it for a couple of years, and it probably hits him a little because we've been ones trying to manage all these kids, all these players, all these people and their parents and their friends and all that. And to put that much work in, and then if you don't succeed right away, you're the scapegoat. See you later. We're going to bring someone else in. That's not always the answer. Sometimes it is. I'm not going to be a lie or stupid here. Sometimes, like right now, I'm fed up with the Sixers coach. Like, I'm going to bring it back in. Nick Nurse, I've said, Mitch, what did I say for the first 2 years? I'm like, give him a chance. Let him, the first year, give him a chance. Let him assimilate, get his people in. Because when you bring in a coach like that, and we're seeing it now more than ever. He had his way. He coached in Toronto, and it worked, right? When he first came in, he didn't have his people. He brought some in. He was given that task of building around Embiid, which how many people have failed at that? So it's like now you got this coach that we're not even going to give him an opportunity to season and bring his people in and try to make his organization be what he's about as the coach. GMs find the talent. The owners just have the money. The coaches, I think, are the most important part of an organization to dictate what type of culture that team will have. That's the full statement. I think the coaches should exude that more than your GM who wants to, get this ego trip and be the guy. I'm making all the decisions. You know what I mean? It should be the coach's vision that is on the floor or on the field. And it doesn't happen that way anymore.
And Charles says in the chat, from a doctor to a nurse, get a surgeon next. Yeah. What is up, Reeves?
So you talking about Jerry Jones? That sounds just like him.
It does, right? It
we
does.
were talking about coaching
Nick
in
Nurse.
general, how we tied it back in. We were talking about coaching in general, the overturning over a year of coaches is like a lot of times they're just a scapegoat. Maybe they didn't perform as well. The team didn't do as well, but it's like so many coaches got to be replaced every year. It doesn't seem realistic, but that's the world we live in now. And it sucks for a lot of good coaches who never got an opportunity. But I was playing devil's advocate saying, but I'm on that hot seat right now saying, I'm tired of what my coach is doing. I see him complaining and not worrying about fixing the roster when people were hurt and making the adjustments at halftime or after third quarter or calling a timeout late to stop a surge of the other team. Like when I see that, and I didn't see that last year. This year I see that with this coach way too much, and the culture needs to be built around a Maxey and Edgecombe, not Embiid. So I'm, at the same time, I don't want to see coaches fired. Fire Nick Nurse, damn it. His time is up.
Finally, I'm clipping that.
But I'll give you every opportunity in the world to try. Like he has had it last year. And he can put here's what they're going to do. They're going to put the onus on the injuries and say, Nick Nurse, come back with this crew one more time and do exactly what I'm preaching should be done is give the coach more time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're going to say, I told you this, Mitch, before. They're going to say, we didn't have Paul George for 25 games. We didn't have Maxey for a month and a half. We didn't have Embiid for half of the year. We didn't have Edgecombe for... So when all that happens, they're going to say, well, we got to give Nick Nurse a chance because he's never had his full team for even a quarter of the year. But I'm hoping I'm wrong and they move on from him because that, to me, is the only way to change the culture from, even though everyone knows it's Maxey's team, they won't change it. They're still hoping he's going to come back and we're going to win 3 games. Yippee! It's like, but you talk to anybody, and I feel your pain. As soon as Embiid and PG comes back, it's like this. Okay, when are they going to get hurt? Tonight? Is it tonight? Oh, he fell. Is he hurt? No? Okay. He's going to get hurt now. I mean, that's all Philly fans are going to do for the rest of this season. I'm prepared for it. Every game.
They're doing it for the next 10 infinity seasons.
No, it doesn't have to be that way. That's my whole point of this whole rant, is if you get rid of this coach, it can be salvaged instead of waiting the 3 more years with Embiid and trying to make it work with Paul George and all that bullshit. If they make the change now, and part of me doesn't want to tank or lose, but if they do, maybe they can blame it on Nick Nurse and do exactly what I'm bitching about. Fire him because they didn't make the playoffs. They made the play in and they lost the first game to Orlando. And then they
Orlando's looking bad right now.
Well,
I'm just going to say that they're looking bad.
If it ended now, they'd play that.
Yeah, I know.
It's looking that way, honestly.
The way it's laid out.
I've seen the game last night. It was bad.
They had the opportunity, and I know I sound like a homer with my fucking pom-poms, whatever. They are sitting right at the door. Homer, nice running back pickup for my Steelers for a back. He's the new Gainwell. That's what I mean. They are in a perfect position to squeeze in and play a team that doesn't have their best player who's number 1 overall. They can easily get in and get that to play the number 1 through the play-in, but even more so right now, they're only a game out of the actual playoff.
I still don't understand how. I
don't want to make this all about the Sixers. Now, I looked at the Rockets too, and your team's shaky, and this is not the way you want to go into the postseason, right?
At all. We went from being the 3 seed to now we're the 6 seed.
Yeah, it's like you're in the same position the Sixers are. They're right on the edge of that play-in and no play-in shit. You should be more secure on your spot, but it's like you don't want to see your team playing like that right before a postseason.
Exactly.
No.
They have all the tools, and if healthy. Let's talk about this one. This one up here, same thing. And he even voiced it last week. This is not the way he wanted the Knicks to come in. Now they're riding, they're doing a little better, but you want to go in hot. You want to be the Thunder on a 13-game winning streak, Pistons on a 5-game winning streak, Spurs on a 7-game winning streak, Cavs on a 5-game winning streak, Nuggets on a 4. Those are the teams that are riding hot. We have 3 weeks left to get your shit together.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So let's move right into that cook show. Great rant, Blaze. Great rant. I love a good Sixers rant. Anyways,
well,
who's your guy?
Coaching rant to a
yeah.
Well, your player of the week's going to be your boy Luka again because he ain't stopping.
It's not Luka for me.
It's going to be LaMelo because he did it on the other side. We know, and you paint your nails for him and do your TikTok dances for him. We get it.
No,
and you're
it's not
sad because McCain's gone.
I'm not sad McCain is gone.
You miss McCain.
Yeah,
And
Bruce, you
TJ
did say
McConnell.
that. This TJ McConnell. So is everyone's player of the game, player of the week, Luka?
Yeah.
Again, yeah.
I mean, he's averaging a 35.
Actually, no. I'm gonna go Mac McClung. He dropped what, 59?
He's the all-time leading scorer in the G League.
He deserves a patch, right, LeBron? Hell yeah, give that boy a patch.
Oh Lord, Mac McClung, I like that one.
Hey, he's doing his thing in the spot he's given. That's where he's supposed to be. Apparently, we talked about that. His game doesn't translate, so why not ball out where you're at? Go for it, kid. Do your thing.
Yeah. So, Coach, is your player of the week, Luka?
Jalen Brunson.
Josh Hart.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Okay.
The
I
big
thought it'd
boy,
be hard.
he's been stepping up with Brunson, being a little banged up.
I mean, I know he's not going to make it, and there's a lot of other players who, but I have to give him some respect because I always give him a lot of flack. But he has been. They've even said that he's been playing good defense. So, and I was looking at a stat since January, they're in the top 5 in both offense and defensive ratings, and I did not realize it. And it's like, and if you really look at it, yeah, they really have. Now, they haven't been consistent. That's the issue with the Knicks, but they've been there. So it's like, which Knicks team are you going to get? But Karl Anthony Towns, he's playing his role for what he's pretty much asked to do. And that's why I'm giving him some love right now.
There you go.
Love me some Cat. He's the one of those guys that does ramp up at the end of the year.
Love you some
watch
Cat.
out.
You love you
I love me some
Cat.
kitty. I love me some Cat.
A real man loves some Cat. Yes, that's so
Kentucky. Kentucky boy. You know what I mean?
He's a Kentucky boy.
He's got some Cat. Speaking of Cat, you got some kitty right there.
Oh Lord, I don't really want to go with Luka, but it looks like I'm gonna have to here, unless I go with Jalen Johnson again, because the Hawks have been on a roll still.
I thought you'd take LaMelo. 26 points per game this week, 5-7. His team's 3-0 this week. So it's like you can take your boy LaMelo and you can skip on down the yellow brick road with him. Maybe you can meet your boy Cat and you can sass on down the road. Go down to visit your boy Jared McCain and paint your fingernails together.
So we have a question here from someone named Steph Curry. Who did the Bucks try to trade Giannis for? Well, you can see by the thumbnail. There's a report by Ramona Shelburne that said that they were trying to trade Giannis for VJ Edgecombe or Evan Mobley.
Who were they
both
trying
said
to
no.
trade him for?
I was just going to say, why is there an outrage for this? Why is this even news? We talked for 2 years that everyone should be throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Milwaukee to get him. It's not a surprise.
Now they're saying no.
But it's not a surprise. Like, everyone's like, it's postered everywhere. Oh my goodness. Can you believe they would have the nerve to ask for VJ Edge? Of course. I would ask for at least VJ.
I would, but I'm asking you. Would you still want to take Giannis for VJ?
I wouldn't do the trade because of the fit. Once again, we don't
know. There you go. We said that. Yep.
But
fit in time on because you guys have a young team, and Giannis probably needs to go to a team that's ready to win now.
Here's the thing, though. It wouldn't just be VJ. It would probably be the
I know.
next 2 first-round picks and
And
VJ and maybe even Grimes too.
I think Paul George.
They're going to ask for a haul for him, and rightfully so. So I'm with Coach. That's the same reaction I had when I heard people going, can you believe they would have asked for Mobley? Hell yeah, they're going to ask for Mobley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the Cavs will not give up Mobley. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, guess who found out that the hard way? The dumbass team that's asking for players that ain't going to move. That's why Giannis is still there. They didn't want to move him. They even said that they didn't want to move him.
This whole thing
they lost a little bit of strength at the negotiating table going into the offseason because now the other teams have more of the ammunition. We're like, hey, we saw you try to move him and you couldn't get, XYZ players.
That's
so
true.
This is what we're going to offer you now because we see what the floor is at essentially for as far as what you want players.
It's also once the offseason here gets here, teams now are going to have also additional draft picks to throw into their package. So because that's one of the things with the Knicks is like, no, don't do it now. After the season, you're going to have more draft picks that you can trade. So it's a double edge. But Blaze, I'm with you. What's the fit? Because as a Knicks fan, we would have to literally blow up our team to bring him in. But then, isn't it almost doing the same thing that he had at Milwaukee, other than probably Brunson? So if you're saying you're going to go Giannis and Brunson, okay, but what about all the other? Because one of the key players I do not want to see the Knicks get rid of is Diawara. I love the kid.
Yeah,
a
lot of
and he's a steal as a second-round pick. He's a first-round talent. So it's just, and I get it. Most people
I thought you were going to take Josh Hart.
No.
No.
I
thought you were going to take Josh Hart.
Now, I'm going to be honest. Diawara, I have him, as much as I love him, I'm saying if he develops, I can see him replacing OG because he's that defensive, offensive type of a player. He can hit the threes. He can facilitate, handle the ball. He can defend literally all 5 positions. The only thing he's not that OG is as stout physically. But, he's a first-year player coming over from France. So
yeah. And here's the thing. It costs less. OG, his contract is just like barbed to the wall.
$200 million plus. So it's like, if you're going to do a trade, if you can keep Diawara, then it's like, okay, fine. I love OG. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying if we can keep him. But if you have to use him now, if he's a player you have to trade to get Cat. I keep saying Cat to get Giannis.
You got that cat on your mind now.
Yeah.
Nice, warm, purring kitty cat.
I'm thinking, hey, Blaze, you'll get this. I'm thinking too much of Batman. The old Batman.
Yeah.
That's way before your time, Mitch. Way before your time.
She turned many a boy into a man.
Yes. But after the season, and depending on what happens with the Knicks, so because that's going to be the other thing. Look, if the Knicks do make it to the NBA Finals, they might bring it back. They might run it back, but.
Well, so I'd say your team would almost have to falter to be like, okay, now we can do the cat for Giannis thing or whatever, and try to bring Giannis in because, like you just said, it doesn't make sense. As much as I got to explain myself because I'm kind of sounding like a hypocrite to some people out there because I'm saying one thing and then I'm preaching the other because it is a fit thing too. Like anybody should throw anything at Giannis, yes, but if it doesn't fit, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like I know Coach gets, but I don't want people to misconstrue me trying to play both sides of the fence.
Like so for like a team like say for like the Rockets, for example, it makes sense because their timeline it's 2-year window. You're not worried about developing young players or losing young players. You basically need to get over that hump with a guy like Kevin Durant and Giannis should be a championship contending team. What they had to give up in the process, it remains to be seen. More than likely, it's going to be a Şengün, probably Ari, a couple first rounders, young players.
Rios, what you said earlier though makes so much sense now because we talked about Giannis getting moved in this preseason and it didn't happen. Now up to the trade deadline didn't happen, and we know now. There was a little tension because now it's like, okay, we're going to look into it after the season now. but it does his value decrease a little bit? You got to ask your question that, because technically he's been on the market twice and there was no like real close deal to happen. Like in the offseason, we're like, oh, it's going to happen. Giannis is going to get moved before the season, before the deadline. It's going to happen. It's got to happen now, Giannis. It doesn't happen. So it's like, but if the fit's not right, no matter how good the player is, you got to kind of be a little more standoffish and be like, wait a minute, he's a super talent, elite, top 5 player, but did that mess up what we have going already?
Yep. Oh, wait, there was a comment here. Oh, yeah. Rios, Bruce likes your cat has nice eyes.
Well.
Had to throw that in there.
Yeah, it's lovely to see, at 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm asleep and I wake up and it's just staring me in the face. She's hungry.
Oh, God.
I wake up with 3 of them staring at me. Like,
I typed.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, who typed that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's me.
Bruh.
Oh, Rios, you have a bigger deal to worry about. Kevin Durant going back to Seattle.
But that's 2 years. I thought it was next year. That's 2 years from now.
28 off season.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 20. All right,
yeah, because I thought it was after next year, but it's after two more years.
You know what? I'm thinking of WNBA too much, because you got teams this year, next year, and I think the year after that. Literally.
It's something we definitely got to talk about, because it's final now. It's good. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. The deal is going down.
They better come back with the name Seattle Supersonics. That's all I care about.
It has to be.
Going to.
Yeah, it has to
no, I was talking to some. They might not go back with Supersonics because first and foremost, don't forget Oklahoma City owns that naming and their rights. So does that mean you got to pay to get that back?
I don't know. They're already giving them their history back. So.
The Thunder are willing to give them their history back.
Yeah. I think that might.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, the Thunder has already given everything that was Sonic's history.
And
now falls. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to give him the name, but they did give him the history. Like when you look up in the almanac 20 years from now, it's going to show Seattle ended and then it's restarted.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's kind of like Cleveland.
It's gonna be, yeah. See, the Ravens never said we're going to give Cleveland back their history. We just said we're taking that shit.
We're just taking it.
Cleveland's like, we'll get a new team. Yeah, let's start over, and we'll still suck just as bad. Cleveland Browns. They ruined 2 franchises.
You know who else sucked, and he actually got waived? Cam Thomas. I feel so bad for that guy.
Let's play both sides of the fence. Don't you think there's a reason he got waived? I'm not jumping on, bring him to Philly, he'll save us. I don't think he has what everyone thought he had, because now this is 3 teams he's failed with in the last year.
No, I don't think it's that. The Bucks are pretty much done. The Bucks are talking about benching Giannis.
Before he was with the Nets. He was with the Nets before, right? Who was he before with the Nets?
Nobody.
He
was drafted by the Nets.
I thought he was drafted by somebody else and then went to the Nets. Who am I? Might be thinking of somebody else. I might be thinking of
You're
Cam
thinking
Johnson.
Of Kyrie.
Or I've been thinking of Cam Johnson. We're getting on
Cam Johnson, Kyrie,
too many Jalen's
KD.
in the NBA. Too many Cams and too many Jalen's.
But not enough mics?
Not enough mics.
What's the whole thing? Like,
no, but anyway. I really think, and I remember Cam Thomas. Well, he was NC State?
LSU.
Oh.
Who am I thinking that NC State was a big scorer that came out of there? It was kind of like, anyhow.
What's him called? Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I'm thinking this Cam Thomas might be blowing up, scoring 35 points a game, and there's all this stuff. People thought he had something in him. I think teams are now seeing it. He doesn't. Otherwise, he'd be on a team.
I keep hearing he has a major attitude problem.
Yeah, and that's at this point in his career, that might be a big problem.
And for a young player, because he is young, that is bad, because now you're getting cut 2 times. Come on, man.
Well, think about it, Mitch. With all the shit Sixers have put up with this year, do you want to bring in a problem child to hope? You know what I mean? Like, talent-wise, if he could do what he did. I'm
going to counter with this. Can he play on the court and not take up a roster spot like Kyle Lowry is doing?
Yeah, but they're not going to. I mean, there's 12 games left. Lowry's going to sit on the bench and do nothing. Happy birthday. which that blows my mind. I mean, it's a wasted roster spot. And look what happens when 4 or 5 guys are hurt. Now you're dragging up G League players here and there to play every once in a while.
Beauchamp started.
I like that kid, though, but
I do too, but not now to start.
But I'm just saying, it's 2 years in a row getting hit with the injury bug that bad. It doesn't happen very often. So I'm sitting here.
I would take Cam Thomas over Kyle Lowry.
Then he's going to do the same thing and sit on the bench and not play at all.
Cam Thomas is a microwave scorer. We can use that for the bench.
Okay, bro. You say
I'm just
so.
saying.
When's the last time
bench.
you saw Cam Thomas play really well? Let's put it that way.
For the Bucks, he dropped what, 35?
Okay. All right. How many games did he play? And he did that once. All right.
I think he only played like what, 5, 6 games or something. That's more than Kyle Lowry.
The point is,
Honestly, when you put Kyle Lowry's points all together, still more.
I'd rather Kyle Lowry because he's a veteran, he's a professional.
And we don't know how much he's helping these kids behind the scenes. You like to trash him and stuff, but we don't know what he's doing. He could be doing most of the coaching and practices and stuff. You know what I mean? Like he could be the glue that's holding his team together and even still has, he's that extra coach that I've always talked about that I loved having one of my players be.
Mm-hmm.
And we can, and I can argue at the same time on the other side of the coin that it's a wasted roster spot that we might need. Why not? They should have traded him to Toronto for, a bag of chips. Like everyone likes to joke, whatever, right before the deadline to get rid of it, to bring in somebody else or bring a G League guy up and give him an opportunity or just name him as an assistant fucking coach. Because that's what he's doing,
So, Blaze, would you take Cam Thomas or Kyle Lowry then?
I don't want Cam Thomas if he's an issue. Why would you want to bring that into a team that's trying to fix itself? It doesn't. It's not going to help if he scores 20 points a game and then all of a sudden the whole team falls apart. And then VJ, and then what's next? Maxey wants out. That's what could happen.
Here's the thing, Mitch, and I get what you're saying because as a fan, you look at it from that perspective. I get it, but in a locker room, I mean, it's so much more. It could really destroy a good team, and I've seen it throughout the years.
I know it could. We dealt with that with Ben Simmons. We've dealt with it.
And why would
you want to then at that point bring someone in who's a problem child? As much as you can, be critical of the Sixers, if he comes in and he's, look, I've seen in football locker rooms where you walk into the locker room and guys are fighting after a game, literally fist fighting. And it's like, it's not worth it. I'd rather have, guys out here who are not as talented, but we're out here scrapping and trying to do our best as opposed to an uber talented player who thinks it's all about them. And look, this is all I've heard a little bit from Nets fans. So they're like, and there's some who love him because he scores. But then there's other contingent like, he's a headache, he's a problem child. I don't want him. I'm glad he's gone. So you want him? Hey,
I just want Kyle Lowry off. I don't care who it is. I just want Kyle Lowry off.
That's not even an option. So it's.
I know it's not.
Can't even consider it.
And like what, 10 games, and then we got the play-in, and then after that he can go.
I just don't think this team. I mean, I'm sound like a damn parrot because I'm repeating the same shit I did 1 year ago. This team is not as bad as everyone thinks it is. You got to have your whole team to decide what the team is. And once again, for the second year in a row, we're dealing with 4 or 5 players gone for an extended period of time. Top players, not bench players. 4 out of your 5, 6 top players have been out consistently all year. You can't judge a team by that. And that's a bad thing because I think they're going to run it all back next year.
Yeah.
But there's nothing.
Well, we can't do much of anything.
There's nothing saying you can't find a gem late in round 1 either, because we've seen that. Who knows? Free agent is going to come over and help. What player overseas decides to finally be developed enough to come back over? Those are a lot of different caveats that are there. But I think as a root, even with the injuries of Embiid and PG, you got that VJ Maxey thing that nobody else in the NBA has. Nobody.
I know, I agree.
The youth, the speed, the shooting, nobody has that tandem. Other teams are way better, but these two can make. I mean, they're not the Splash Brothers. They're not going to do what the Splash Brothers did because they're not that great of shooters, but they can have that type of effect on a team over the next 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I definitely agree. Our crew brings up a good point. Daryl Morey doesn't care much about depth. He was trying to get Kawhi Leonard.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
He was trying to get Kawhi Leonard.
I've had first-hand experience with Daryl Morey. He's a very top-heavy ended type of roster building. Not a whole lot of like solid bench players. Saw it all throughout his tenure with the Rockets. A lot of big players, but then when you got to past the starting lineup, really weak depth.
I'm starting to agree with you more, Mitch. Like I think Morey and Nurse are more of the problem than the players. That's my point. You know, you have to see it for a long period of time now where they're not changing the culture enough or adjusting, but they have a lot of really good pieces in place if they're all playing. Early in the year, they had that streak where Philly fans were like, they were playing great. And guess what the key thing with that was? All the players were playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
you know what?
It's a wait and see thing.
Here's the thing with all the players, right? All the good players playing everything, playing well. Nick Nurse doesn't have to do much of anything. And then now when when the team is like this, you see what Nick Nurse is doing. So it's just like.
He's not, I said this a couple weeks ago. He's not a bad coach. He's just not the right coach for this team.
And I agree with you on that.
1,000%. He's not. And until they make a change, there's really no reason to bitch or moan, complain about it because they're there. If there's no, you know what I mean? Like that's where it kind of pisses me off because I'm there too. I want a new coach and possibly a new GM so they don't ruin this core of players that can be huge for a long time. But until that happens, why am I going to waste my brain power thinking about the GM and the coach?
Welcome to Philly fans.
You dragging me down in that hole. PA.
Welcome, Philly fans.
I'm not a blamer. You don't have to blame somebody all the time.
Well, again, welcome to Philly.
No welcome.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, we're on the same page here.
I could be here bitching and saying, why is Las Vegas and Seattle get that team in 2 years and not Pittsburgh? But I know the argument already. Pittsburgh's not a basketball team, a city is what the argument was before. When they tried.
Will it make money? I'm just going to ask a simple question because sports is a business. Will it make money? If you tell me that
high school football is definitely a lot bigger in Western Pennsylvania. It's humongous. But I think high school basketball is pretty big too. And the way, college, we haven't had, that's the thing. Pitt hasn't been good in forever. West Virginia's not, we don't have any teams around here that make us want to cheer for basketball. So we got to pick Philly, Cleveland, stuff like that. If we had a college team that was kicking ass every year, maybe there'd be more noise about bringing. Pittsburgh could definitely accommodate it. And they would fall in love. It's all about winning, just like any other city. Look at the Pirates. They put all that money, best stadium in the league, and it's trash because they're losing every year because of the owner. Once again, we're going back to the top of the food chain. It trickles down, and unfortunately, the players are the ones that suffer, and the fans suffer even more.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. I'll gladly take. I mean, that's what. But I'm very gracious as a Philly fan, though. I'm gracious because we're not the Bullets. The Wizards hoping next season pays out with Trey Young and AD. Praying, that works out. That's a big if.
Yeah.
There's these teams that might be terrible for a really long time, and Philly's trying not to be that.
Yeah. Rio, did you see that comment about Adam Silver, Fox?
He owes us for letting the Spurs get Wemby.
Speaking of Wemby, man.
Just wait till Dallas gets the number 1 pick again this year.
If that happens, I'm going to be – that's definitely right.
The odds are in favor of Indiana getting DeBonsa, and I think that would be a nice little fit for them with Halliburton coming back and Siakam and them.
I love that team. Yeah,
that team could easily go from last to a contender. I know you hate it, but I constructed a very good team if that works out that way.
You have a good coach too. But yeah. Speaking of Wemby, did you guys see him going like that little rant about him getting MVP? Did you guys see those comments that he made?
I can respect it. I mean, he
Yeah.
made some valid points. I hate saying it as a rival, but
I was going to say, you're giving props to Wemby. I love it.
he made some very valid points. Because he's
True.
right. Basketball is a two-way sport. I mean, not everyone plays two ways, but basketball in its true form is a two-way sport. And you got to be a difference maker on both ends of the court. And
that's the mentality I want. Sorry, LeBron, face of the NBA, get to stepping. Here's our new face. A guy that has his head on his shoulders, smart, plays both ways, wants to be a team player, values team over individual stuff. Put the crown on Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
He's not even on my team. I want it to be Maxey. Please get the crown on Maxey because he's everything. He's a Kentucky guy on my team for the Sixers, and he has the same mentality. He's team first. You know, it's not about individual performances. Sure, I love that they love to be the MVP and everything, but this is enlightening. This is refreshing to hear this.
Yep.
It got Rios to compliment Wemby.
Because he mentions defense. Like, yeah, who really mentions defense anymore in the NBA? Nobody really.
Nobody.
He values it that much. It's like he is right. It is undervalued. An undervalued aspect in the MVP race. Like, what kind of impact do you have on the defensive end of the floor?
Depth and defense is the reason the last three champions are the champions: Boston, Denver, and OKC.
Milwaukee. I thought you weren't including OKC. I thought you meant. Okay, got it. But here's another thing too, right? I think I said this on MK in the morning today. If you take Giannis off the Spurs and you take Jokic off of the Nuggets, I feel like the Nuggets can still make a playoff push. The Spurs, no. I don't think they will make a playoff push without Giannis.
I don't think the Nuggets can make a push without Jokic.
No.
With
really
Jamal
don't.
Murray, we've seen a healthy Jamal Murray. He can get right there in the middle of the pack. I'm not saying top.
If you want to say play-in, I'll say yes.
Playoffs.
Definitely drops both teams down a big notch. Losing those
they
people.
right.
He averages
arguably the two best players. Yeah, that's going to change the world. Losing either of those, I would say. I know what you're trying to compare, but
But I'm just saying,
is Wemby more valuable than his team than Jokic? Is what you're asking?
Yes,
that's a tough question. That's a tough question.
I would go yes.
So you're going to get 50 people. We're probably going to 25 go either way. You know, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah, I want to ask Rios that question.
I think they both have the same level of impact.
Right.
So they probably will both struggle without their players.
I thought you would say Wemby.
I mean, Joker he's everything on offense, defense, not so much. Versus with the Spurs, Wemby's first class on defense, but offense, you can kind of survive without it.
You got Fox, Castle, Harper. Yeah, it's not a big. You also have players other center, Luke Cornett. You still got Cornett.
Players like Plumlee, Olynyk, those can be valuable players in the playoffs coming off the bench. They don't have to. You don't have to come in, score 20 points, or those are energy players. Harrison Barnes, that's a vet. You know, you got these players that you got a little bit of everything. They got, and everyone's undervaluing once again Stephon Castle. I mean, we're not giving him the credit he deserves. We really aren't, and I'm guilty of it as well. We're all talking about Wemby. Let's not forget his Robin. He's been with him for the last 2 years to do pretty damn good. Actually, because of Wemby's injury, is why we found out how damn good Castle is.
Y'all told me
he's been stepping up a lot in the last few weeks.
Look, I'll say that because I need to see a whole lot more from Wemby. He doesn't impress me. When I watch him, I see Ralph Sampson. I really do. The only difference is he can shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah.
But overall, I see Ralph Sampson. I really do. Ralph Sampson coming out of Virginia, first-round draft pick, dominant, big man, can rebound, can score in the low post. I mean, he could do a lot of the same things.
I think Wemby's a little more athletic. That's the only thing I'd give him, maybe. But everything else, you're spot. I think he's a little more athletic. You know, with the handle. Like
the handle and the
he has
3-point
handle
shooting,
where a big guy like that shouldn't have
Yes.
handle.
At that time, but
and he's doing under the leg dunks and stuff, which I don't think Rouse said. But I get your comparison 100%.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing, if I'm thinking, would be like handle and athleticism, maybe a little bit different. But everything else is a big, tall, lanky guy who's shooting down on the hoop half the time.
But you would expect him to be more dominant on the offensive side of the ball.
True.
But
his
down the league and shoot threes, and you only average 20, 21 points a game. Like,
yeah, his defense changes games though, and look at what their team's doing because of his defense. I mean, people
like I said, him and Joker impacted different ways. Wemby on the defensive end, Joker in the offensive.
It reminds me of Shaq, because when Shaq was the center for whatever early in his career, that nobody wanted to go in the paint or anywhere near it.
Because, Orlando, Lakers.
The beginning, not the end, not the Suns. Celtics.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
The beginning of Shaq, people were like, "All right, here's our game plan. We're going to shoot threes and run through the paint. We're not going to take it to Shaq." And you can't really afford to do the same thing to Wemby. He's going to get 5 blocks a game. So it's like the game plan changes by that one person. Don't get me wrong, the paint isn't really the most valuable place where people score anymore, but you lose that part when you're like Joker's great, but Joker has passing over a lot of the other. Like his passing game is like.
But he'd rather ride horses over everyone.
But I'm just saying, to be able to pass like it just doesn't look right, but it's smooth and silky when he does it. And it's like that awkward looking big goofy dude did that. And you can say the same thing for Wemby. The awkward big goofy dude did that. And that's what they're doing. They're changing what the normal is. Big dudes that can pass and shoot and dribble and handle. I still wouldn't want my 7'6" guy standing on the top of the fucking key.
I would not want mine either.
Especially one that blocks 5 shots a game.
Lord.
Those are the type of men. I mean, you're getting all these, we still have the SGAs and the Lucas and the players that are doing, the dumb shit as well as scoring at a crazy pace. But you have these players that are, their heads are on straight. The Wemby, I will put Maxey in there because you've heard him get interviewed. The way he talks, he knows how to answer it. He's answering it right. And he's not like being selfish.
I can't put Anthony Edwards in that conversation.
No, like SGA, Ant, and those guys, they're on their own level, and that's nothing wrong with that. But we have this new crop of talent that are a little different, and it's okay. It's refreshing to hear people talk, like Rio said, talk more about defense. If the philosophy is going to change to more of a defensive type of stance, they got to start talking about it and doing it. But if you have a guy like Wemby, now you're going to have to combat that. So now the defensive mentality is more for these coaches and players. Oh, here we go.
What?
You're damn right I am. You're damn right I'm the best. Put my comment up on the screen, Mitch. Now.
First of all, he is not the greatest athlete of all time.
I'm the greatest athlete that's ever put shoes on or held a round ball. Give him a patch for that. He probably could play hockey.
That's great. That's funny as hell.
He'd be dominant in hockey too.
Well, I will say this. I will say, in all seriousness, though, in football,
yeah. Him and Iverson, I always think about they could have played
exactly because I remember him when they were showcasing him as a wide receiver, and he was at that. This was before the big receiver became the go after, and I'm like, if he really wanted to play football and focused on it, I do think he would have. He would have played very well at football, but he just loved basketball.
Big receivers like the one Mitch's team's about to lose here in a couple months. AJ Brown, right?
Right.
The big news. I'm excited about the postseason, and it's kind of like March Madness. Get you hyped for it because it starts, and then NBA playoffs are like right there. So, and what I'm most excited about is, and we can mark the day today. Over the next 3 weeks, will we see the level of competition ramp up? We normally do for the last 3 weeks.
We won't see Embiid ramping up, but other than that,
I think the teams that are like
positive about it and say he's going to come back and average 30.
They're trying to get a higher seeding for sure. No one wants to be in the play-in. No one wants to be in the bottom.
Bam doesn't want to be there. Look at what Bam's pissed at where his heat is at.
Well, then that's another thing. We have heard more coaches and players be a little more vocal about this tanking bullshit.
Yeah,
and And I do like that. That's the only way something's going to change is if players and coaches speak out more. We have no say in it. Fans have no say in that because we are dumb when it comes to that. You look at what the people say all the time about it. And I'll put myself right in that category. We're not in the position to make a decision like that. We're not in the day-to-day operations of the National Basketball Association. So we have no place in that, but it needs changed.
What is up, Taco? Yep. Friday. But actually, I'm going to change my player of the week. It's going to be Ace Bailey. That is my player of the week. You see what he's been doing for the last couple of games?
Stepping up.
This is the Ace Bailey that we needed.
Yeah,
this is the Ace Bailey that we wanted since the beginning.
I told Mitch, watch, as soon as Ace Bailey has a couple good games in a row, hey, we should have drafted Ace Bailey, not VJ. The Philly flip-floppers will say it. No, the fit was right for VJ. The fit could be a good place for Ace Bailey to flourish out there, man. It really could.
It's all about confidence with him. That's really what it boils down to. He has all the talent. Seriously, he really does. And I saw that when he was in high school and Rutgers was recruiting him. And I'm like, oh, my God, the kid has talent. And what we're seeing, he's getting used to the NBA, trying to fit in. And he's a great teammate. Seriously, he doesn't have a superstar attitude. He wants all his teammates to do well.
I remember that interview with him when he was getting drafted. They talked about being humble.
Yeah.
That's him. But yeah, you're seeing now he's playing with a certain level of aggression. I'm like, this is the Bailey that I know. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try telling a player like that, you got to go out there and lose the game.
Yeah.
Give me a break. Now the organization might sit him, but you got a player like that finally flourishing, and immaturity is what kept him down at first. And if he grows out of his immaturity in one season, good for him. It doesn't take him 2 to 3 years. With some kids, it does take that long. If he can get out of that in 1 year, that Jazz team can do damage next year, depending on who they're going to get. Plus with Markkanen and Kessler and
Jaren Jackson Jr.
And yeah, that's a team.
That's going to be the biggest
and
lineup.
They're all 6'10",
that's going to be the biggest lineup.
They'll have a team that's almost all 7-footers.
You made a great point. You said about his immature. I forgot he was 18 when he got drafted too. Yeah. So that matters also too. So it's like, 18 playing with grown ass men. We always say it. You're playing with grown men. It's a difference. So, and he's seen. Plus, don't forget all the traveling. And
it's different. They're not used to that shit. Well, some of them are because they started in that traveling teams and all that stuff.
Well, that's true.
Nowadays,
that's true.
Where they do a little bit more, but it's culture shock. It's got to be a culture shock for a kid to go to professional from college. You got a lot to fall back on in college.
And some of them still have. He went from Georgia to Tri-State New York to Utah. That's also a culture shock too.
Yeah,
and that's one. You know what, Coach? And I always say this. When you get drafted, you swallow that pill and you go wherever they put you and prove you can make it there. If you're meant to be in LA or New York down the line, maybe you'll get in a big market, but everything happens for a reason. I'm a true believer in that. And I think that happened perfectly for Bailey to go out there, even though he was trying to pick who everyone's saying he was going to pick. I want to go to Washington. I want to go here. You got put there and now he's making something out of it. Kudos to him. I like him even more.
Yeah. He's going to help put Utah on the map next year if he keeps this up. If he keeps this up, a lot of a lot of fans are going to want to see him play. If he keeps this up and if he keeps under control.
He could end up being the man. I mean, Markkanen is the guy there, but it could end up being Bailey by next year. He could be the one carrying that team and everyone else are the role players. We'll see.
And then Jaren Jackson Jr., you got a defensive player of the year player there. Like, Utah's going to be scary next year.
Talk
you got
about
Utah,
being afraid.
Indiana going to be good next year.
Talk about being afraid to go in against Wemby or Jokic. Go in against the Utah Jazz. They're all 6'10" or higher. You can't worry about the top of the key. You got 2 6'9", 6'10" guards and shit. That's the future.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where we're heading. I mean, sooner or later, you're going to still have
Victor tried that. It didn't work.
They'll have these 6 foot, 6'2" guys that are extraordinary, but you're going to see a lot more of these 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" super athletes that they're doing shit that a 6'10" dude shouldn't be doing. And I love it. That's what basketball's all about.
It's the Monstars.
It's evolving, yeah.
It's the Monstars pretty
When they
much.
start doing front flip dunks and shit, we'll see. Bring back
Harlem
slam ball. I loved slam ball. I don't know about anybody else. You put trampolines on the court. I loved slam ball.
I want to. It's Big 3 coming back. I actually want to watch that.
That ain't going nowhere, man. It's got money behind it now.
I mean, is it
It's been going on
when
for
is
a
it?
long time too.
Rio's gonna split. Alright. He's going back to work. Alright, guys. Yep. Embiid is gonna play tonight. Apparently. Now.
30. Unless they put him on a minute restriction.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're putting him on a minute restriction. They didn't want him to go hard. Pause. What
Sometimes you gotta go hard. And raw too.
right?
Raw. Sometimes you gotta raw dog it.
Pause.
Just hope that pull up, not the pull up game, but the pull out game is good.
Alright. Really? Oh my god. Should we just do predictions now?
And all those teams that I said earlier on those winning streaks, they all play tonight. So there's your segue. Thunder, Pistons, Spurs, Cavs, and Nuggets all riding 4 or more. Thunder with that 13-game winning streak. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they just got Jay Will back.
Right. So Bulls, Sixers. Who's winning that?
Philly.
I got
Philly's
Sixers.
winning. Here they come.
Hawks, Pistons. That's actually a good game.
Three more wins, Mitch. And they got
I
at
thought
least
it was
4,
2.
No, 3 more to get to 42. 42 is a win.
But you were saying 2.
No, I was saying 4 games, 4 and 3. Now it's 3. It's 3 because they
Oh, I thought it was
They-
2.
well, they lost to Thunder. They had to beat the
Yeah.
Thunder to make it 2. But we all knew they were going to lose.
Pretty much. Come on.
No,
We were
don't.
injured.
We have no. If we went back and checked all the times we picked these games every Wednesday and see our record, I'm sure we didn't get them all right.
Right. Hawks and,
I don't pick the
Hawks
win.
and
I pick-
Pistons.
I think the Pistons keep falling. I want to see the Hawks win. No, wait. Hawks they're too close to us. We need them to lose, right?
No, they're ahead of us.
That's why. Yes, we need them to lose. We're 1 game behind the Hawks. We need the Hawks and Raptors to lose. Philly wins. We're in the postseason.
I'm going with the Hawks.
You can't. You're trying. They have our playoff spot.
No, you don't understand.
3 weeks to go. You got to start
It's
thinking. this way,
reverse
Mitch.
It's reverse psychology.
Oh, you're coaching it. Okay, I see what you're doing.
Coach, who you got?
Hawks.
Mm,
Don't you pick the Hawks, Coach?
I hate it, but the Pistons.
All right. Lakers at Pacers.
Wait, before we go,
Lakers. Oh, go ahead.
Cade's not coming back, is he?
He's done for the season.
Yeah,
He'll be back in the playoffs.
Yeah. He will. That's what I mean. Like,
So he's not done for the season. He's done for the regular season.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how bad it is. Like, I don't know because collapsed lung could be something in a couple weeks. A week they look at it and it's like, you're not even close to coming back. You're done. He could be done.
Don't forget, you got to get acclimated to running and collapse lung. That means your wind has to be built up. That's a big thing right there.
Could say, yeah, that's what I mean, Arku. It's a could be back for the playoffs. So we don't know that. So that changes a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're still taking Maxey over Cade?
Every day of the week, all day, any day. The way Maxey plays over Cade's, hell yeah. Cade's a great player. Maxey, he's got the game. My favorite type of basketball player. Why would I pick Cade Cunningham? Cade Cunningham's a great player. I'm not taking away from him. You can ask me 1,000 times. I'm taking Maxey 1,000 times over Cunningham. That's my type of player.
Well, that's your type of player
His
on your
attitude,
team from
the
your
way
school.
he slashes, the way he shoots, the way it's
Yeah,
just
but
a coincidence
Blaze,
you came from
It's
Kentucky.
from Blaze. It's from your school, your
Coincidence?
team, and your player. So it's like,
But after watching him play for a couple of years, watching him talk, watching what he's dealt with last year when it fell apart and he was the glue that kept it together. When they asked him questions about this and that, and he always talked about the team first.
Lakers at Pacers.
Oh, Lakers.
Lakers.
They're on I hate it too, but they are on a fucking roll. And LeBron's playing great too. I'll give him credit.
Thunder at Celtics.
That's the game of the night right there.
Thunder. I need the Thunder to win. I need them to win.
Yeah,
I
let 'em
got
win.
Thunder and Celtics in the finals, and
Oh,
I have
yeah,
Thunder
Knicks-
winning in
The
7.
Knicks
The
can
Knicks
take the
are
second
half a
spot.
game. They're half a game, and right
Yeah.
now, if the Celtics lose, the Knicks are in the second spot because they have the record over the Celtics right now.
And that's a little bit of a difference because you're playing a play-in team instead of an actual playoff team from that point. Like some people might say that's not a big difference, but 3-2 is bigger than 4-3 is what I'm trying to say.
Mhm.
That jump to 2 is a nice big jump. Plus the Pistons, you never know. They're only 5 games and there's like 12 left. And without Cade, they could slip. This is a true test for them to see if they're really a contender. Play without your best player for a
They
while.
beat the
I know they're
Lakers.
doing good so far. They have to hold it together because I
Yeah.
could easily see them with Cade out fall, and Boston or the Knicks could take the 1.
Yeah,
It's right there for the taking. It's really close because we're talking 10, 12 games and a 5-game difference. So a lot would have to happen, but it's definitely a possibility. Same thing for the Sixers passing Toronto and Atlanta. It's very realistic.
yep.
Cleveland's too far ahead, 6 games, and then you're really pushing the limit. But the Sixers win half of their games, 6 out of their 12 or whatever, and
6, 7.
and the Raptors and Hawks falter. Sixers could have the 5th position after all the shit they've been through, could be 5th. And what did we say in the beginning of the year? Best scenario was like 4th or 5th or 3rd. We didn't put them 1, 2, or 3, even if healthy. So how's that, Sixer fans? The world's crumbling around us, and we can still get the 5th.
Heat, Cavs.
No, I can't really.
I got Cavs.
Can't cheer for the Heat either because they're in the play-in. So I'm gonna take the Cavs.
I got Cavs.
Yeah.
I don't want Magic, Hornets, Heat, or Hawks or Raptors winning no more.
What about Spurs, Grizzlies?
Spurs. They're gonna make it 8 in a row. Is it at Vancouver?
It's at Memphis.
Memphis. I don't think it matters. Well, Jaw's out for the year now too.
Yeah,
Which
kind
that's
of saw that coming.
terrible.
I got the Spurs.
Yeah, me too.
Coach, you got the Spurs.
I know,
Mm-hmm.
Arku.
Yeah, Wizards, Jazz.
Jazz.
I got Jazz.
Yeah, the way they're playing, why not?
Rockets
Who takes the hardest game is that game.
Rockets at the Timberwolves.
I like the Wolves right now. I'm taking the Wolves. I think the Rockets are a little shaky, and the Wolves are playing really well.
I'm taking the Timberwolves.
I think the Wolves can do it. Rockets got to
My
get their
God,
shit
it's a
together
lot
now.
of games tonight. Mavericks, Nuggets.
Nuggets.
That could be a good game too. Probably Nuggets though.
Nets, Warriors.
Warriors.
I'll take the
Warriors. Bucks, Trailblazers.
Portland.
I'm going Portland.
Yeah. Portland.
Last game. Raptors, Clippers.
Oh God.
Where they playing at?
It's got to be the Clippers because the Raptors are right. We need
It's
them
in
to lose.
LA. It's in LA.
Go Clippers. Come on, Kawhi. We didn't trade for you.
Wow.
Gotta pick the Clippers. We gotta play the numbers game right now, man.
I know.
We need the Raptors and Hawks to keep losing.
Yep.
Dude, if we get a 5th spot, and here's the thing, you get the 5th spot, you might end up playing the Pistons if they keep falling and be 4th.
Yeah. All right, we got a question from Taco, and then we're gonna head out. I know this is off topic, but do you all think Tank Dell will finish his rookie season?
Well, how many Jalen's are in the NBA?
Huh?
Too many Jalen's in the NBA.
What does one have to do with the other?
I don't know. I just felt like saying that.
And David goes, Pistons will beat the Hawks tonight.
Tonight.
Oh, it's that.
Donut.
Yeah.
Is that like a donut?
It's like, wait,
Dude, it's a donut made out of toes. Big
It's-
toes
no,
and
it's-
pinky fingers.
it's Homer.
Homer for the Steelers, new running back, new Gainwell.
And Jalen. No, did you see what David said?
No.
No, thank Jalen Rose.
Yep, he's the reason. He's the starter. He's the grandfather of all Jalen's. Even the ones with the Y and the A and the L and the crazy letters, he is the grandfather. He is the god of all Jalen's, Jalen Rose.
Jalen. All right, guys, we're gonna head on out. Coach, you got anything going tonight?
Heart of the City tonight, 9 o'clock. Me and NYG, breaking down the sports scene around New York City.
And then Blaze, you're doing your
Yep,
thing?
I'll be live here in about 15 minutes.
All right. And Taco goes, Jalen McCoy to the Sixers.
That's right.
All
My
right, guys.
son.
Any hockey fans out there, on Saturday morning, we got an interview with Brian Propp, a former Flyer. So shout out to my guys, James and Joe. They're going to do that interview Saturday morning. And yeah, we'll catch you all later. I'll see you guys in about 19 minutes. See you guys. Have a good one.